All right, guys, how you doing? Today's topic is gonna be about something mental, because I have a lot of people that I start to coach, and the first time they start the coaching, most of the time they think that investing is more about like analyzing numbers, sitting in front of the screen all the time, and being very active, and that is not really the case. There's an amazing book that came out last year, 2021, and it's called The Psychology of Money. And I think this book is like one of the best books ever written about investing. And here's the funny thing, um, in the whole book, it teaches you nothing specifically about investing. And what it teaches you are more the soft skills. And I think if you want to be successful as an investor, the soft skills are way more important than the, the knowledge of how to invest. And what do I mean by that, by soft skills? It's more like you are trying to figure out behavior patterns that put you in a situation when you use the compounding effect for your advantage, that no matter what happens, you're gonna end up at your destination that you prefer to do. And one very important concept of that is the margin of safety. And the margin of safety is pretty much that you, 2/3 of the time, the best investors in the world are going to be wrong, right? They do all those analysis and they research stocks and they put all this work in, right? And at the end of the day, they make three picks and they figure out that 2/3 of the time they just wrong, and still the game is so good that at the end of the day you're gonna win the game, right? And the question is pretty much, how can you put yourself in a framework or in a situation where this is pretty much an advantage for you? And this margin of safety, my mentor used to tell me all the time, he does not play the game of tennis to win. He plays the game of tennis not to lose, right? Charlie Munger is saying he's trying to figure out where he's gonna die, so he never goes there, right? The reason why they don't invest in cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is not that they don't think that it might turn out to be a very lucrative asset, and it might take off and it might be mainstream. It's not that. It's just the way of approaching how to get financial free is at risk, right? Investors, like the way I teach it, they're not doing bets where the odds are 50-50. 50-50 is for the suckers. The bets we take is our bets where the upside is phenomenal. It's amazing, and the downside is slim or not existent, right? The downside is not even there. And the challenge in investing, the way I teach it, is that you have to be patient and wise enough to wait, and wait for those situations where you have a big upside and a limited or no downside. And if you're smart about investing, those opportunities come, those situations come. It's so funny. One of the greatest investors in the world, his name escaped me. He applies the same rules he applies to investing to life. And I personally, I encourage everybody to live life like that, because what he, for example, did is, how you going to develop a successful marriage, right? And pretty much, or how do you develop a successful diet where you just don't do anything that would put you on the long term in long jeopardy, that will hurt you over the long term. And this quote from Charlie Munger is so insightful, right? He inverts the problem in a way, right? There's a problem that if you do a mistake as an investor, you might lose everything. You put yourself out of the game. There might be situations where when you're in a marriage long term, that something happens, life happens, and you put yourself out of the game. You get a divorce. There might be situations where you put yourself in a situation health-wise where in the long run it will hurt you, right? And these are the things. How many times do you see like little things happening and you don't pay them really much attention, and all of a sudden you have a big problem, right? And this is like the compounding effect in the negative order. So what this guy did pretty much for his marriage was he told himself he's just not gonna go there. He for example, when he was younger, he liked to go out with his friends to a bar, and he just stopped going to bars, right? Or when he was younger, I don't even know if it's him, but let's say you have a drink every now and then, right? And all of a sudden you find yourself drinking so much that you need to take a break, right? And this is just human nature, I think. And I think at the end of the day, life is like this, right? Life is a constant battle about this balance, right? When are you adopting bad habits, and those habits compound on itself, and all of a sudden you find yourself in places that you don't want to be. I think this concept of margin of safety is one of the most profound concepts that I found in my life. And yeah, it's also very profound when you apply it to investing, because what we pretty much do is we buy $1 for 50 cents, and in case we are wrong, we still buy the dollar that is already discounted to 50 cents for 50% off, meaning we pretty much pay 25 cents on the dollar. And yeah, this is I think this is very important, and I found myself even in my personal life getting very undisciplined with this concept, right? It's, as an investor, the first thing you always do is focus and eliminate the downside, right? And if the downside is taken care of, then we focus on the upside. And yeah, I'm still trying to implement situations in my life where I do this, and yeah, it's I think a constant challenge, but it's important, I think, to remind ourselves, right? And I'm doing this by teaching you guys, and yeah, if you're interested how to do this investing thing, contact me. I still have slots open, not many, they're filling up, but yeah, other than that, I just want to remind myself and maybe reach somebody out there who yeah, is also struggling with this, right? And yeah, I'm gonna approach all my areas of life with this concept, right? Margin of safety, you know, setting yourself up that no matter what happens, we're gonna reach the end destinations. We're gonna reach our dreams. And yeah, I hope you like this video. Subscribe, and thank you. See you in the next one.